answering your questions about retirement. It's Money Talk with Michael Eastham.
My husband and I are putting the finishing touches on our trust, which we are preparing online. We are unsure whether or not to put our home in the trust or just leave it as is. I have seen mixed opinions on it. We own it jointly and want to make sure we cover all bases. What are your thoughts?
Okay, well, I love estate planning questions. I always give the caveat. Remember, I'm not an attorney, so nothing that I say should be construed as legal advice. But having said that, I don't want you to trip over dollars to save pennies. And the reason for that is that estate planning is way too important as a part of your overall financial plan. So you have to take these things very, very seriously, and you want it done right. So this is a great question. The first thing I'd want you to think about is, do you have a mortgage on the house or not? If you don't have a mortgage, then it can be a no-brainer. If you do have a mortgage, you do have to be aware of something called a due on sale clause. And a lot of times people will tell you that if you move a deed into a trust, that it could theoretically trigger something called a due on sale clause. And what that means is that technically a mortgage company could potentially foreclose on the property. However, it's never seen that happen, and all the attorneys I've talked to have never seen it happen either. All they care about is that the mortgage is paid. So set that aside if you don't have a mortgage. The one thing that you do want to think about, and a lot of attorneys will tell you this, is that if you just keep it as a joint tenancy or a joint tenants with rights of survivorship, then wait till one spouse passes away, then you could put it into the trust. Well, that's trying to remember something down the road at a stage where there's a lot of things going on, and you may forget by the time that actually happens. So the way I like to think about this is that you put the deed in the trust right away, and as a result, it simplifies the process. And I'm all about simplification rather than trying to try to complicate your life. So what I would tell you also is that you've got to make sure that you cover all the aspects of the trust. You understand the differences between a trust and a will, and that you make the selection that is in your best interest. Now remember, if you don't have your home in a trust, then it's going to have to go through probate. And the problem there could be that, if you have a $300,000 home, then the probate cost could be, anywhere from $9,000 to $12,000, and could take several months in order for that process to take place. That means delays in transferring the title to your beneficiaries. So if you have more questions about estate planning, one thing that I would encourage you to do is reach out to us. We did an entire webinar that's recorded on estate planning and can give you a lot more in-depth pointers on the best way to do it. So reach out to us, ask for the link, and we'll make sure we get a copy of that estate plan webinar out to you right away. Thanks again for that question.
If you've got a financial question you'd like to have answered, click on the link below to submit your question. You may hear your answer on an upcoming edition of Money Talk.